Project Home and In Amazing Mercy is a big piece of me moving forward to actually living a life.
It's a home built by nothing but love. That's what Project Home is all about.
You save many when you save one. And that's what Project Home is. It's a package deal.
The sky's the limit for me.
In our 35 years of serving Philadelphia, there were certain moments that would define the future for Project Home. And one thing that has always been true: love opens doors.
The presence of folks on the street in Philadelphia in the late 80s, it wasn't their problem. This was our problem. Something was wrong systemically that was forcing so many people onto the streets. And another level, something was wrong with our cultural values, that we were permitting this human crisis at such a scale to continue.
Sister Mary was passionate about wanting to do things to help people who were homeless and who needed help. And then we finally got physical facilities for her. The important thing about Mary Anderson Rec Center was that it was the beginning of a shelter system in Philadelphia.
In doing outreach, there were a few organizations that were beginning to work with people who were unsheltered on the streets of Philadelphia, but no one had an overall picture. We were the first city to actually do an outreach coordination center. We just thought it made sense. Now it's a national project that's done every year in every city.
We had been struggling to open 1515 Fairmount for a while already.
There were a lot of powerful folks in the city of Philadelphia who did not support us building 1515 Fairmount Avenue.
Turned into a much deeper struggle that lasted 5 years, both in the courts and in the streets.
In the Fair Housing Act, it was unclear whether the shelters were covered under it or not.
This is bigger than just this building. This is a basic struggle for human rights, for civil rights, for fair housing.
Together with the Department of Justice, Project Home sued the city and won.
This victory clearly impacted homelessness nationwide.
This really helped to provide a legal address to facilitating building housing everywhere, because this is the United States of America. We're supposed to be able to live wherever we want to live.
Decades later, when we went to build the John Bon Jovi Soul homes right down the street, and the neighbors who seriously opposed us in the 1990s came out in support of that project. And so to me, that's the power of relationships, the power of transformation, which is the Project Home story. When we came to the 9121 neighborhood, we met with community leaders, talked about what did the community need, what was their vision.
The community, led by Helen Brown, Chris Whaley, and Priscilla Bennett, identified education and healthcare resources as important needs.
We now have a state-of-the-art education center for the children in the neighborhood.
We developed the Stephen Klein Wellness Center, which is integrated healthcare without walls, both wellness services as well as primary care, behavioral health, and dental. And the Honickman Learning Center Comcast Technology Labs continues to this day to be a beacon of light and opportunity, and has led so many people, both children as well as adults, to education and employment.
We started a youth employment program a number of years ago, giving a lot of the children, who are mostly high school, summer jobs where they can learn how to operate in an office environment.
There's so many children that has come out of the after-school program and have gone on to do some wonderful things. I don't have words to explain what it has done for the community.
That was the beginning of HOME. We saw the importance of housing, medical care, education, and employment.
Through that work, prevented folks from becoming homeless.
We know that homelessness is bad for neighborhoods. It's also bad for people who are homeless. So why don't we look at how we can solve it together. These kind of solutions ultimately cost less to taxpayers. And business folk heard that a little bit better than politicians. That had a big impact over the years when business people would come and say, you know, Sister Mary's project, it actually could be very good.
So the Empower partnership was a game changer for Project Home. Prior to that partnership being formed through the vision of Lee and John Middleton, we were a developer through opportunity only. We were very limited in our ability to build a pipeline.
This was a very different kind of private outreach to private philanthropists than what they had done before. Really broadened the base of giving. And that's been the most rewarding thing, is to see the people who've come in and to see their reaction as their money is put into good use. I'm really pleased to be able to say that after all these years and all this effort, we have 25 partners in Empower, and collectively we have contributed upwards of $100 million in private philanthropy, which in turn has been leveraged to over $250 million for the cause.
What a real concrete difference Sister Mary and Project Home have made in this city.
When we can get involved in healing our society, our community, and seeking to be part of a transformation of the lives of people who are very publicly and seriously broken and wounded, we are all being transformed. And every time we witness somebody come home, we feel a little bit more home ourselves.